Manchester United bombshell transfer that could change and bring glory back to Old Trafford. Hey football fans, welcome back to United News. Big transfer updates today. Manchester United is in the headlines once again as they're making waves in the summer transfer window. Andre Onana, Alejandro Garnacho and the six-man United flops playing for their futures under Ruben Amorim. The Red Devils' most ineffective performers could be forced out of Old Trafford this summer unless they quickly start proving their worth. I have a lot of problems. My job is so hard, Ruben Amorim told Sky Sports after seeing his Manchester United team suffer a miserable 1-0 defeat at Tottenham on Sunday. That result saw United hit a new 51-year low in the top flight as they dropped to 15th in the table. Worse still, there were no signs of the situation improving anytime soon. Amorim has been refreshingly honest about the standard of the squad he inherited from Erik after leaving his comfort zone at Sporting CP back in November. But even he surely couldn't have imagined things would be this bad barely 3 months into his reign. The players have so far failed to adapt to his preferred 3-4-3 system, and with each passing game relegation becomes a more realistic threat. Some critics believe Amorim should shift away from his core beliefs to halt United's slide, but they are missing the bigger picture. It doesn't matter what formation he chooses with a team as rotten as this. Article continues below. Positive change will only start taking effect at Old Trafford when Amorim is free to make his own signings this summer. To do that, sales will be needed first as part owners Ineos strive to stay within the boundaries of the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules, and a select group of underperforming players will almost certainly be on the chopping block unless they buck their ideas up. Goal has run through the 6 United flops who will be playing for their futures between now and May. From the man failing as their last line of defense to the one floundering as the figurehead at the other end of the pitch, Andre Onana. Andre Onana is a complete liability. Most United fans gave the Cameroon international the benefit of the doubt after his dire debut season at Old Trafford, but now he has no hiding place. United have dropped so many points because of Onana's mistakes. His positioning and handling are both poor, he doesn't command his box, and even his distribution is falling well below the required standard, which is truly unforgivable given he was initially signed from Inter on the strength of his reputation as an elite ball-playing goalkeeper. The loss to Tottenham should be the final straw for Amorim. Onana's pathetic attempt to parry Lucas Bergvall's shot away from danger gifted James Maddison the winning goal, and now he must be dropped for number 2 shot-stopper Altay Bayındır. Effective immediately. That kick up the proverbial backside may be exactly what Onana needs. And if he doesn't rise to the challenge, it would just confirm he was never cut out for the pressures of life at Old Trafford. Alejandro Garnacho. To Alejandro Garnacho's credit, he has at least been putting in a lot of effort for Amorim recently. Since being dropped from the squad for United's derby clash with Manchester City in December, the Argentine forward has shown real character to knuckle down and win back the coach's faith. And with Amad Diallo now sidelined for the foreseeable future, he's the biggest attacking threat remaining in Amorim's lineup. There is one major caveat to all of that though. Garnacho is still an awful finisher. According to Opta, the 20-year-old's conversion rate is the lowest of any player to have 10 or more big chances in the Premier League this season, as he's scored just 2 times out of 14. He found himself through with just the goalkeeper to beat once again in the Tottenham game, only to somehow blaze the ball high into the stands when it seemed far easier to at least hit the target. Garnacho's attitude has improved, but his technique still leaves a lot to be desired and he lacks the composure United so desperately need in the final third. If that doesn't change, United will have little choice but to invite offers again this summer for an academy graduate who can generate pure profit on the balance sheet. Diogo Dalot. It's quite incredible that Diogo Dalot is into the 7th year of his career at United given his glaring limitations as a footballer. The Portugal international has survived largely because of his versatility, providing cover at fullback or wingback on both sides. But he often stands out as the weakest link and has become an easy target for opposing teams. Going forward, Dalot is wildly erratic. He tends to either take the wrong option or overhit his passes, much to the frustration of his teammates. Dalot doesn't redeem himself defensively either, too, as he is easily beaten in one-on-one duels and a consistent offender when it comes to letting his marker go. That was the case once again in the build-up to Maddison's goal for Tottenham, as Dalot gave Son Heung-min far too much space to volley across the box. Dalot is still under contract until 2028, but the 25-year-old has shown almost no growth since his initial arrival at the club in 2018, and United would be wise to try and cash in at the next available opportunity. Joshua Zirkzee. Joshua Zirkzee has been unfairly disparaged by pundits and fans alike since his £36 million, $45 million, summer move from Bologna. The Dutch forward has ability in spades. He can dribble past multiple defenders with ease and is a natural linkman who is capable of creating something out of nothing. Zirkzee possesses the elegance and touch of Dimitar Berbatov and the imposing physique of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and at 23, he has plenty of potential still to unlock. But at the moment, it feels like he is not suited to the intensity of the Premier League. The slower pace of Serie A brought the best out of Zirkzee, but he struggled with not being afforded the same time and space in England's top division. 7 goal involvements in 37 appearances is a woeful record for a player with his abilities, and Amorim may decide to move Zirkzee on if he doesn't prove he can make a more decisive impact over the next 4 months. Matthijs de Ligt. United's summer swoop for Matthijs de Ligt never made much sense. The Ajax Academy graduate was a big disappointment at both Juventus and Bayern Munich, with his lack of pace and mobility frequently exposed in the biggest matches, and forking out £43 million, $54 million. For the 25-year-old was an unnecessary risk. De Ligt has displayed a warrior mentality at times, most notably soldiering on with a bloody head injury during a 2-1 home win against Brentford. But the obvious flaws in his game have not gone away. In Amorim's system, Harry Maguire needs 2 quick defenders flanking him, and De Ligt just does not fit the bill. When everyone is fit, De Ligt will be behind Lenny Yoro and Lisandro Martinez in the pecking order. The Netherlands international is seemingly fighting a losing battle to make himself indispensable to Amorim amid United's ongoing injury crisis. And if he does indeed fall short, the exit door is likely to swing open when the transfer market reopens. Rasmus Højlund. United's record with number 9s in the post-Sir Alex Ferguson era has been terrible. The likes of Radamel Falcao, Alexis Sanchez and Wout Weghorst all became laughingstocks for their impotency in front of goal, while expert marksmen like Romelu Lukaku and Edinson Cavani were guilty of only delivering the goods sporadically. But as it stands, Rasmus Højlund is in danger of eclipsing them all as the worst centre-forward in United's recent history. The club's decision to spend £72 million, $90 million, on a striker who only scored 9 goals in his solitary season at Atlanta has aged horrifically, with Højlund managing only 12 in his first 50 Premier League outings at United. The 22-year-old has just 2 league strikes to his name so far this term, and is currently in the middle of a 14-game barren streak, which is damning enough on its own. But Højlund can't hold the ball up to save his life either, and he spends more time moaning at his teammates than pressing. United can't get back to the top with a number 9 who offers nothing to the collective cause, so he is likely to be the first man replaced in the summer unless he miraculously turns a corner. Dan Ashworth wanted Premier League boss over Ruben Amorim before Man United exit. Ruben Amorim is having an extremely difficult time as Man United manager. Former Manchester United sporting director Dan Ashworth wanted Brentford manager Thomas Frank to replace Erik ten Hag, not Ruben Amorim. Ashworth spent just 5 months at Manchester United, starting in his role in July last year and leaving in December. His short stint at Old Trafford seemed bizarre after they had worked hard to bring him in from Newcastle United and spent around £3 million on doing so. The surprise departure was by mutual agreement, according to a club statement, with the BBC reporting that the decision was difficult but was made collaboratively following a period of transition, with the new ownership still trying to work out the best structure for the club. One decision that Ashworth was not a fan of during his spell with the Red Devils was the appointment of current manager Amorim. The Sun reports that the former sporting director preferred a manager with experience of the Premier League and wanted B's boss Frank to take over from Old Trafford. Amorim was preferred by chief executive Omar Barada, and the Portuguese was indeed brought in from Sporting, with United paying £11 million for their new manager. Thomas Frank has done an impressive job as Brentford manager. The decision to sack Ten Hag, appoint Amorim and Ashworth cost Manchester United just shy of £25 million. While it is impossible to know whether Ashworth's preference would have succeeded, it is hard to imagine Frank doing any worse than Amorim is currently, with the Red Devils sitting 15th in the Premier League table. Defeat to Tottenham on Sunday in North London was Manchester United's 12th in 25 Premier League games so far this season, scoring just 28 goals in that time. Meanwhile, Brentford, with seriously limited resources compared to the Red Devils, are 11th in the top flight, scoring 43 goals in their 25 outings, winning more and losing fewer matches than United. Dan Ashworth lasted just 5 months at Manchester United. Frank has been at Brentford since taking over as manager in October 2018, leading the Bees up from the Championship and establishing them as a stable force in the Premier League. The Dane has been linked with a number of bigger jobs and responded to Manchester United speculation in October, not by ruling it out but suggesting it would take a lot for him to leave a club where he is very happy. Who knows what will happen in future? As I said many times, I think it is very important because I am probably at one of the best clubs in the world. Why should I leave this place? Frank said on the Sports Agents podcast. But things can happen. You can want new inspiration. If I ever got the offer from a bigger club and I decided to go there, it would probably not make my life better. Thomas Frank has established Brentford as a reliable Premier League outfit. I think we all know that. But hey, that's maybe a challenge that, you need to try. He added, I've been so happy here. There's still things we can achieve. I think data is good, but I think our really secret sauce, our ingredients in the secret sauce, is the culture and the togetherness. I think that's where we stand out in many ways. It's more clear strategy, clear alignment from top to bottom. Good people working hard, same direction every single day. And then the people up top do something very, very, very rare: football. They take good, sensible, calm decisions. Man United won a signed superstar, available for £58 million. Manchester United are eyeing a summer move for RB Leipzig attacker Xavi Simons, and are among 3 Premier League clubs showing strong interest in the 21-year-old. According to Fishages, the Red Devils are preparing for a squad reshuffle after the season and have reportedly identified Simons as a potential target for Ruben Amorim, who replaced Erik Ten Hag in November. United had an underwhelming January transfer window and brought in just 2 new players before an injury crisis significantly depleted their squad last week. They were without a dozen senior players for the 1-0 defeat to Tottenham on Sunday and named one of the most inexperienced benches in their history. Red Devils eyeing Xavi Simons for the summer transfer window. According to Fishages, United are seriously considering a move for Simons in the summer, but may face competition from their fiercest Premier League rivals. Manchester City and Liverpool have also reportedly shown interest in the 21-year-old, who could be available for around €70 million, £58 million, after joining Leipzig permanently in January. The Dutch international signed a new 2.5-year contract after Leipzig activated their option to buy him from PSG last month, tying Simons to the club until June 2027. Gimsport key statistic: Simons became Leipzig's record signing in January, costing the club an initial €50 million, £41.6 million. Simons, praised for his superstar potential by Ben Mattinson, has been a key player for Leipzig this season, scoring 6 goals and providing 5 assists in 20 appearances across all competitions. The Dutch international returned to first-team action in January after missing nearly 3 months with an ankle injury and has contributed to 6 goals in 7 Bundesliga appearances since. He ranks 3rd in goal contributions among all Leipzig players this season, trailing Arsenal target Benjamin Sesko, Lois Openda, and Antonio Nusa. Manchester United waiting in race for £66 million Serie A striker as summer exit now increasingly likely. Manchester United continue to struggle for goals, and Ruben Amorim may be keen to add another striker in the summer transfer window. Manchester United were beaten at Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday afternoon, falling to a 1-0 defeat in North London. It's another defeat for Ruben Amorim to swallow and more questions for him to answer as United continue to struggle. A major problem is United's lack of goals. Just 28 in 25 Premier League games so far this season. Rasmus Højlund's goal drought continues, and Alejandro Garnacho's wastefulness in front of goal was on show again. Amorim wants Joshua Zirkzee playing deeper, so many are left wondering just where the goals are coming from moving forward. Manchester United in race for Serie A hitman. United have committed big money for Højlund and Xerxes, but neither look to be the solution in attack as things stand. That may mean more spending up top this summer, and a return to the Serie A market may be on the cards. Reports in December suggested that United were eyeing Juventus striker Dusan Vlahovic, the man who cost £66 million from Fiorentina back in January 2022. As noted by BBC Sport, it was claimed that Juve were struggling to sort out a new deal for Vlahovic with his current contract expiring in 2026. Tuttomercato now claim that United are waiting to pounce for Vlahovic at the end of the season. Talks with Vlahovic are still completely stuck, meaning the striker is increasingly likely to leave Juventus. United are keen but aren't alone in the race, with Arsenal and Chelsea also eyeing the Serbian for a Premier League move. Vlahovic has hit 12 goals in 27 games across Serie A and Champions League action this season, but Juve just can't afford to see him leave for free next year. That could give United a route to signing Vlahovic, but with European qualification now a long shot, United could yet miss out. Joshua Xerxes exchange still can't be ruled out. United drew another blank on Sunday, but summer signing Xerxes was actually a bright spark. The Dutchman has been heavily criticized since arriving at Old Trafford, but looked a threat as more of a number 10. Amorim liked what he saw from Xerxes, but he must also be realistic. He will need to wheel and deal to mold his United squad. Juventus wanted Xerxes earlier this season, with boss Thiago Motta keen to reunite, having worked together at Bologna. No deal materialized in January, but Motta's admiration for Xerxes means Juventus may not have given up just yet. A deal which essentially sees Xerxes and Vlahovic switch places may seem a long shot, but it should not be ruled out, with United needing to get creative in the market this summer. What are your thoughts on this latest news? Drop your comments below. I'd love to hear what other United fans think about these developments. Glory, glory, Man United!